Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you can see, I've got MMA King Kreese Jr. with me once again, and we're going back to a galaxy far, far away.
Hell yeah. Let's get this thing started, my friend.
So as you can tell, we've done the entire prequel trilogy now, because this is episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We were supposed to have a guest or two on, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. Other things came up, but that's okay because, you know, maybe at a later date. But anyway, going forth with this review, let's just get right into the movie, really. So the movie starts off with Anakin and Obi-Wan. They're in an aerial battle up in space. They're trying to get to the main ship where they're holding Mr. Palpatine himself as hostage. And because obviously Anakin is getting shown to have matured and became a better Jedi and a better pilot, we now see that he's the best pilot in the galaxy by being able to shoot off droids off of Obi-Wan's his own flyer, and then obviously he uses the wing to scrape some of them off as well, so that obviously he doesn't lose his master whilst he has to go and try save the Chancellor. So of course they're like, wait, we're flying to this thing and the shields are still up. So Anakin's like, give me 2 seconds, and just shoots them point blank, and then they have to get there as quickly as possible before the door shuts. And I think this was a really good opening, especially because the other two openings were really slow, and it was not their own fault. It was more just based on the politics stuff, where this one, you can tell that this is going to be, okay, let's go, because you know that because of the opening itself alone. So what about yourself, Danny? What were you thinking about this opening?
Oh yeah, man. This is great opening, man. It just gets straight to the point. No politics, no nothing, man. Straight to the point. And also, highly recommend before you even watch Revenge of the Sith, watch the Attack of the Clones cartoon show 2D. It's on Disney Plus. For all you Star Wars fans on there, it just basically sets episode 3 up a lot more better. What was going on during the war? So yeah, man, I love this. I love this scene going straight to the point. Like, we're here.
Yeah. So like Danny was saying, it's the 2002 the Clone Wars, not the newer one. Yes, they're both good in their own right, but the 2002 one is really, really underrated and also badass. It shows you General Grievous the way he actually is, and also it shows you how we got to this moment in time as well. So obviously what ends up happening, they get to the ship in time before the blast doors close. They jump out and start going ham on a lot of battle droids, and obviously what ends up happening is they have to go and get the elevator. So they ask R2 to stay behind, and he's like, oh, why the hell do I have to stay behind, basically, in droid speak. And obviously they're like, we need you down here in case anything goes awry, because obviously, well, it's a Star Wars movie. It wouldn't be a Star Wars movie if something doesn't go awry. So
yeah,
they're making their way to the lifts, and obviously they have to take out more battle droids, and then they get into the lift, and then obviously they hear Roger behind them, and they're like, what the hell? And then obviously they go ham on those droids, but then the lifts get stuck, and obviously Anakin's like, oh, okay, I'll just cut a hole in the top, which tries to jump up, okay, jumps out at the top of it, and then obviously R2 is in the process of trying to fix the lift, but accidentally puts it down the way, so then Anakin has to jump onto one of the openings for the lift, and then this is when 2 battle droids are sitting there with their guns drawn at them, and then obviously Obi-Wan's like, R2, wrong way. And then so he does it, but then Anakin has to then do a backflip off the wall and jump up the way, and once the lift comes up, it destroys the droids, and he jumps back in, and Obi-Wan gets a bit of a scare, so he pulls out his lightsaber, and he's like, oh, it's you. So what were you sort of thinking about this scene, Danny?
Oh man, I think this scene just shows a little bit of the comedy of Star Wars again. Like, you know, yeah. Look, relax, OT fans, relax. It's okay to have a little bit of, like, you know, funny. It's all right. It's okay to have a little bit of funny during a little bit of a war. So don't take it that serious. Of course, R2 was just doing his thing. Anakin, Obi-Wan, like their playful banter is always hilarious with one another. That father son / brotherly love type of thing that they got going on.
Well,
So
by this point, it's brothers, even though it makes no sense. But George Lucas get everybody like I love the guy, and I'd still prefer him over what we get now. But even at that, it was a bit like hit or miss because like father and a brother, and it's like okay.
It's just like we talked about the last time. He goes back to his old self for a minute. When he's in a writer's block, he just goes with the easiest answer, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, Luke and Leia, lovers. No, brother and sister. There we go, and everything.
Yeah.
I said it. I'm the writer. You can't tell me what to do. Like,
yeah, pretty much. So then, obviously, going from there, they get to where the Chancellor is, and obviously, you know who's here. The sad thing is like Count Dooku got like set up really amazingly within the second one,
yeah,
and one of the things I think the third one did a bit wrong is that legit we get the Chancellor, and then obviously they're like, oh, we're here to rescue you, and then he's like, oh, he's a Sith Lord, you can't beat him about Count Dooku, and he's like, and then obviously Obi-Wan banters a bit with him, like, being like, Sith Lords are our speciality. So then obviously Count Dooku comes down, and then the fight ensues. But instead of Anakin running away ahead at first, he goes, we'll take them together this time. He was like, I was about to say that myself, which is what Anakin says. And so obviously they get into the fight, and then a bunch of battle droids show up. Obi-Wan takes care of them whilst Anakin's fighting Count Dooku. Obi-Wan finally catches up and then gets chucked to the side and crushed with one of the platforms, which was quite ironic because obviously is what it is. So then obviously it's up to Anakin to defeat Dooku, but she ends up doing, and then obviously the Chancellor is like, kill him, and he's like, I shouldn't. It's not the Jedi way. Do it. And then obviously he does it. And then obviously at the same time he's trying to get Anakin to leave behind Obi-Wan, and he's like, no, I'm taking Obi-Wan with me. So he carries an unconscious Obi-Wan. So it kind of shows you the sort of dynamic they've been having since the second movie, where it's like Anakin keeps having to save Obi-Wan for these situations, because we'll get more into that later on, but it's quite funny. And obviously then we have a very funny scene of them trying to like escape, and then like stuff going wrong, and then Obi-Wan waking up and things. So what about yourself, Danny? What was your sort of thoughts?
I mean, with this scene right here, I mean, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate. Like, did you think that Dooku wanted to take out Palpatine if he had the chance? Because
yeah, definitely.
For the second movie, he was basically telling the Jedi, "Hey, this dude is evil. Like, you're Palpatine. He's evil. Like, join me, and we can take care of this guy, and then maybe we can rule the galaxy together." I don't know. I thought that was just kind of weird.
That's definitely what it was doing. George Lucas even came out himself and said that like that was the whole point of that Obi-Wan scene, is that in the Sith there's the rule of two, and basically he was trying to tempt Obi-Wan to join him so they could overthrow Sidious. Because at this point, right, if you think about it, right, like, I'm sorry, but Sidious isn't like very scary at this point. Like, yeah, his face gets fried in this one, but technically speaking, like, like, when it comes to Sidious, to be honest, like, he's a great villain, but like, I don't know. I just
that's just how I felt. I was like, I mean, you guys could have just joined him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't like Palpatine. If you just notice it, like, nobody likes Palpatine. Like, Darth Maul don't like Palpatine. Darth Vader don't like Palpatine. Like, Dooku don't like Palpatine. The only person that likes Palpatine is Grievous or whatever. But other than that, Anakin did his thing. He he cut off his head. Got revenge. Like our good friend, the chosen one, Jacob will always says, "Do it." So I thought that scene was pretty dope. But yeah, I'm glad that you kind of answered that question, because episode 2 just left me like mind-boggling. Like, okay, so is Dooku good? He's just working with the Sith because he's trying to like get close enough to kill him or something? I don't know.
Originally speaking, remember, he was the original devil's advocate. The reason why Qui-Gon Jinn never followed the rules as much was because of his training. And it was because that he was unorthodox, and he would do things that needed to be done, but the Jedi Order might not be able to agree with.
Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah.
Qui-Gon got it. So not too surprised, to be honest.
Mm.
But yeah, like I think they kind of killed off Dooku a bit too early though, because like he was shown as this like formidable foe, and then all of a sudden, like I know it's to like show that Anakin's power had grown, but still, like you killed him off a bit early. Like you could have had him at least
Yeah.
for a wee bit longer, because I'm not gonna lie, General Grievous, like even as a kid, like I was like, that's cool. He's a tin man, but you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you get older, you find out obviously he was one of the bug people from Geonosis that had been put in a suit to be helped to live by Sidious, and obviously he's like a badass like robot thing now. But to be honest, like unless you watch like the 2002 Clone Wars cartoon, he's not that much formidable, especially in this. He was running around like he's got a smoker's like asthma. Eventually, we see them running down the hallway, and obviously they get stopped in this tractor beam, and obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan are like, oh, for fuck's sake, no again. Basically, this happens quite a lot to them, I'm starting to realize.
Yeah.
And obviously, they're like, oh, it's okay, Arte will be here in any second. And then Arte comes in and goes, and they're like, oh, I told you. And then they see all the battle droids, and he's like, oh, well, we're screwed. And then obviously, this is when we meet General Grievous. And obviously, he's like, Anakin Skywalker, I thought you would have been older with the amount of compliments you have. And he was like, I thought you were going to be taller. It's just like Anakin just had to violate him and just be like, I thought you'd be taller. But of course, at this time, he takes their lightsabers, which actually, ironically, a lot of people never noticed. Even when later on in the movie, like after they get their lightsabers back in this scene, they couldn't be bothered making other CGI models. So actually, if you rewatch when Grievous is fighting Obi-Wan, you see Obi-Wan's lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber. He still has them because they couldn't be bothered CGI in different lightsabers.
Yeah, they said like, you know what? Screw it. We don't got the budget like that, and we don't. And I technically just don't feel like doing all that. Let's go.
Like, at least with Obi-Wan's one, they changed it to a green color. You know,
Yeah.
But like Anakin's, it's the exact same hilt and the exact same color, and it's like, there's no one noticing this.
It's like, listen, man, I'm not like George says. Listen, guys, I don't care. I just don't feel like it. Let's move on. We're moving on.
It's my saga, and I will do what I want with my saga. Yeah, so obviously, Anakin and Obi-Wan set themselves free, and then they go ham on these like droids, like the like more improved droids, but like these like electrical sticks. I used to know their name, I just can't remember them at the moment. And obviously they try to go for Grievous, and then obviously, ironically, he does a Obi-Wan episode 2 and jumps right at the fucking window for no apparent reason. So yeah, apparently this guy's been watching Obi-Wan, so you know, he was just like, I'm gonna borrow that, you know, I'm just gonna
yeah.
But obviously then Anakin and Obi-Wan get stuck on this ship because he smashed the window, it's like the safety modes came on, and then now they have to crash land it. And this is one of the funniest scenes ever, because it's like everybody bickering and things, and obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan are so used to it at this point, but by the time they land and obviously destroy a few buildings along the way, Obi-Wan just turns around and goes, another happy landing. And I love that just simply because you clearly see in that moment, like, they've had to do this so many times, and he's like, I know Anakin's got this because he's done it so many times.
Yeah. Like, I love the fact that Anakin takes control sometimes. It's like, you know, even though Obi-Wan is older and wiser, like, Obi-Wan is not too prideful to let Anakin take over. And I think that's always makes a great leader all the time or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going to move it on a bit. Obviously, speed it up a wee bit.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit. But, so obviously after that, well, it basically just goes into more of the politics stuff at this time, where, you know, we see Anakin and Padme, you know, we find out he's going to have kids, and he's like, oh my god, that's wonderful news. And then obviously it's more just the diplomatic shit that, like, no one really cares about. It's all about, like,
it's the filler part.
yeah. We've got to the filler part, basically. So, like, the next, like, important bit, I would say, would be, like, whoa, what would it be? Because, like, obviously, you get all this stuff with Anakin and Padme, then you get, like,
it's
the
pretty
stuff
much
with him.
With him and Palpatine, basically. Well, actually, like, they want Palpatine to be spied on and whatever, and, like, you know, Palpatine is telling Anakin, like, hey, like you should be a master now on the council, like bigging his head up a little bit.
Mm.
Knowing Palpatine, he already knows what the council is gonna say. Like he may be old, but he ain't stupid. So
Also, like as we've pointed out as well, it's like the amount of times we see Palpatine, his entire office is legit black and red. He always constantly wear black, and on top of that, right, all the people he has working for him all wear black and red, and also they never ever question him.
yeah, they never talk. Like if I was a Jedi, I would have just asked one of Palpatine's servants, like, "Hey, what's going on? What's your name?" Oh, so you're silent type. I get it.
I'm saying it's so bizarre. It's like if you were looking for a Sith Lord at this point, you just basically be like, right, it's that guy. Like there is like even after Count Dooku has said it as well, it's like you should, like I know they kept a bit more of an eye on him. Like that's the whole point of this one because it's only supposed to be like 3 or 4 years after because like he's 19 in the second one, he's meant to be 22 in this one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you think about it logically, right, it's just like did it's the guy with a butt chin. It's legit. He's the only one that ever wears all black. He's always meddling with Anakin. He's always trying to talk to Anakin on his own. He always tries to put him on in a situation, Anakin into situations they didn't ask for, and then it makes the Jedi Council be wary of Anakin. It's like what the hell? I was like, Dad, there's your Sith.
And it goes back to what we were talking about for the first two movies. For very smart beings, the Jedi are really stupid because the answer was right in front of them. Like all black, nothing but black and red. Like he's every time when somebody dies in the Jedi Council, he scums at them all the time. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, because like obviously this is the movie where he obviously finally reveals himself, but even when he does that, it's like no shit. It's like that's not surprising. Also, the thing that annoyed me as well, they dumbed down Anakin a lot within this one because when it comes to him actually finally revealing himself to Anakin and things, he's like, have you heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And I'd be in that moment, I'd be like, wait, how the fuck do you know about the dark side? Wait a second, you're a politician.
Yeah.
Right, nah. Yo, Mace Windu. You know that Sith we've been looking for by any chance? Yeah, I think it's this incredible butt guy. Because all of a sudden he's telling me about Darth Plagueis. Do you know about Darth Plagueis? Okay,
yeah, I know about.
So.
It's like, yeah, I know about Darth Plagueis. We were hunting him down for years. We could never find him. Well, yeah, this guy knows all the knowledge. This guy right here.
Well, he's saying apparently his apprentice sort of like done him in, and it's like I wonder who the apprentice is because he seemed very, very happy when he was talking about it. Like even when he was giving that speech, you could see that he was happy that he'd done it, and it's like, Dad, you couldn't be any more blatantly obvious. And then obviously Anakin only starts to click on once we find out. Obviously, it's all that. Oh no, I don't want my wife to die. Like how obviously like it happened in the second one, and he says he would never let it happen again. So this is how Anakin falls to the dark side. And what I found funny about that though is like Anakin finally clicks on and he's like, "You're the Sith Lord," and it's like, well, no shit, Anakin. Like, no shit.
No, duh. Like, if I was Palpatine, I would have said, finally, I was giving the answers away all the time. You guys are so stupid. Seriously, you all deserve to die.
Also, another thing that people don't realize, in the second movie, he looks older than he does in this movie because originally George didn't know how his face was going to become so wrinkly. So originally he was going to just age him up, but then in the third one he just switched up and made him get a lightning bolt to the face.
Yeah.
I found that funny though, but like that's the thing. Like I like that though because it makes more sense than he naturally grew into an ugly guy. Like I know in the original trilogy and like the theatrical cuts, he didn't look the way he did, but guess what? That's not the version we have now, unfortunately. So hey, but yeah. So obviously, like Palpatine, like obviously reveals himself. Anakin like goes to tell Mace Windu.
I need you. Yes, my master.
Yeah, basically. He goes to tell Mace Windu, and at this point in time, Obi-Wan Kenobi is obviously away fighting General Grievous on the nice planet that he's on. I can't remember the name of it, but I do remember that the Inquisitor's race is on there. And how the hell could they get it done right back in 2005 and we can't get a good Inquisitor in 2023? What the fuck's this about? Yeah, that just gonna throw that out there. I just don't care anymore. But yeah, and obviously we get the iconic "Hello there."
Oh yeah,
And General Kenobi. And obviously they have a like battle to the death, and it's all so badass, and it's all really cool, and it's really fun. And then obviously General Grievous gets beaten, and then dun dun dun, the downfall is coming. The downfall is coming. And so Anakin goes and tries to stop Mace Windu and the rest of the Jedi Council from killing Palpatine because he believes that he needs to save Padme, and this is what makes him fall to the dark side. And of course, he helps Palpatine with Mace Windu, and also you can tell that Palpatine's a liar because he's like, "Anakin, help me! I've not got power." And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, "Unlimited power!" And you're like, Anakin, dude, come on! Even if you screw it up, fix the situation by killing this dude because he's clearly lying to you.
The funny fact is like a lot of people are like discussing between Mace Windu and the Sith or whatever, and like George Lucas came out and said like, "All right, you nerds, it's my canon. I do whatever I want. Mace is technically stronger or whatever, but due to the situation, I have to get him to become Darth Vader some type of way. So there you go."
See, I wouldn't even say Mace is stronger. The thing that people need to remember is Anakin's made it out of purely the Force. He's stronger than everyone in that room. He's just not reached his full potential yet. But even at the potential he was at, he was able to best Dooku, and like Mace Windu had issues with Dooku at times. So I'm just saying, it's like people need to realize, like, just because you like a character does not mean that they're the strongest fucking character in the fucking thing. And a lot of the comic books and stuff, they're shown to be like strong, but they're not actually as strong as you think they are. They're supposed to be look good. It's the same. It's like when people get annoyed when, like, I don't know, when Superman beats Batman, or Batman beats Superman. That makes logical sense because he's using his knowledge and his advanced techniques to best Superman, and it's the same way here. It's like, Dooku might have more advanced techniques, but Anakin's got more raw power, so it would make sense why sometimes he would also win, like how Superman also sometimes wins. You know, it's just how it works.
That is just basically between Mace Windu and the Palpatine. Like, it's a Batman and Superman situation. We all know that Superman will beat Batman. Like no tech, no prep time, none of that. We all know that Superman will just like straight up throw Batman to the sun. But due to like the story and what it says, we gotta have the story. Like, that's just basically how it is. Media lift. So but
also Palpatine, is like he's stronger in the Force than he is in lightsaber technique. Like, his lightsaber is made to insult the Jedi, because the Jedi's traditional weapons are actually made with love and care, and he made it out of the most experience of all time to like take the mech out of the Jedi, because the Sith don't view lightsabers as that important. They think the Force is more important, and that's why he does have a lightsaber, but it's the one that it looks the way it does. It's because it's supposed to insult the Jedi, and that's the thing. When it comes to that, like, that's cool and all, but like, if you can't go hand-to-hand combat, then you're basically fucking useless in this universe, because like everybody else can just be sat there and do like the Obi-Wan and doing all this mad like technical stuff, and then Palpatine's like, haha, Force lightning, and it's just like, or if you're Yoda, just catching it.
If you're good at catching the Force lightning, then you don't have no technique with the lightsaber, then you're screwed. Like, you know.
And he doesn't. Like, he can fight. He can fight with a lightsaber, but he's nowhere near as good as any like the rest of the Jedi, because they actually put focus on it. But you know, for like story sakes, especially within the Clone Wars, like later TV show, they made him a lot more formidable with a lightsaber. Because even like in this movie, like, they try to make him look badass, but to be honest, a guy that spins in the air and goes, dude, why is he acting like fucking Yoda? Like, he's a fully grown man. Like, that works for Yoda, not for Palpatine. I'm sorry, I just like, are we going to take this man seriously? Like, bugger off.
Palpatine. I think Is Palpatine like a top 10, top 20 villain of all time? Yes, but like he's not in my top 10. Like he's
Yeah,
like
definitely not. Definitely not. Like to be
like
fair,
he's
like
not.
I prefer the parodies of him because it is funnier. Like robot chicken or like something dark side. Like call for Palpatine. Like that sort of stuff makes it funny because like and in reality, that's the way you could see a guy like this being like you could like he's believable as a villain,
he's
but at the same time, it's just like it's
he's
unbelievable how
senile.
dumb people.
He's senile. That's
Yeah.
basically it. He's gone crazy mad with power. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's like he's bored. Yes, I am the Dark Lord, but I got all this power, but I don't know what else to do with it. Like,
I'll start a galactic empire, and it's like, kill, like, right, whatever. So then, obviously, we see
yeah,
Anakin pledge himself to the dark side, and eventually, we'll skip the next scene because of YouTube guidelines, and they do not like the mentioning of a certain thing that happens in this movie. Unfortunately, it's one of the bits,
I
that
got a good
actually.
code. I got a good code word for it. They got Reva, man. They got Reva. That's yeah.
Yeah, they got highly revad, obviously, and obviously at this point in time, Order 66 has been announced. Obi-Wan's nearly getting shot, and like he's falling off cliffs, and all the Jedi are starting to lose their getting unalived. Yoda starts to sense it over in Kashyyyk, and obviously this is when Danny, I remember when we were watching it was quite funny because for years I always knew that it was Chewbacca in that scene, and then Danny goes, "Wait, that was Chewbacca?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." I noticed that as a kid.
It's like all these years, I'm like, wait, hold on, that's Chewy. I thought that was just another dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that Chewy and Yoda were cool like that. Oh well, okay. Hey, you can learn something new. Okay, I don't claim to be a Star Wars expert like all the rest of you beautiful people out here. Like sometimes I miss it every once in a while.
Oh, no. See, I never thought I was an expert. Like for me, it was just I just found it funny because it's funny watching movies back with you now, and then you're like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, did you not know about that?" And I'm like, "Oh well." But yeah, so obviously Yoda goes ham on the clone troopers. Everybody's going ham on clone troopers. Anakin's going ham on the Jedi. Obviously, we're getting closer and closer to the second Duel of the Fates, as I would dub it. I would dub it the second Duel of the Fates because technically speaking, I think Obi-Wan could have saved Anakin by then, but we'll get more into that when we get to that part.
Yeah.
But obviously, what ends up happening is obviously Anakin goes to see Padme, and she's like, "What's going on? I'm really scared. I'm worried. Like, why is the Jedi Temple?" And he was like, "I saw the Jedi try to overthrow thingy, blatantly lying." And then obviously Obi-Wan makes his way back with Master Yoda. There was a deleted scene where like the clones tried to pretend to be Jedi, but to be honest, I'm kind of happy they took that out because like they all have the same face, and if you haven't noticed, every Jedi ever, not even a single one's had the same face. So it was kind of dumb. So I kind of feel like that they took that out. So then obviously they watch back the recording and they're like, "Oh, Anakin, no, what's he doing? What's he doing? No, no!" And it's like, did stop lying to
You
yourself. You saw this coming. Like you kept saying, "Oh, don't let yourself fall to the dark side." But, like he was needing therapy, not just a quotation like thing off like someone would put on fucking Facebook. Oh, do not detach yourself and learn to let go. It's like, Yoda, Facebook
no.
motivational quotes aren't going to work here. Like, this kid needs help. Like, help him.
Yeah. I'm. This is where this is where like I wish Jacob was here because he would have like just started ranting on this part because like, he was telling me one time he said this is what I'm talking. He says this is what I'm talking about. The Jedi are stupid when it comes to this part. You
Yeah.
go for them for help. They go for you. You come for them to help, and then they give you some nonsense of like just don't go to the other side. It's simple.
Yeah, like it's like a Facebook when we our inspirational quotes just sitting there being like, yo, yeah, like 2 drinks a day will keep the doctor away, and you're like, what? I was asking about something that's actually deadly serious. Oh, you're okay, honey. Do you want a glass of milk? And you're like, Dad, like, come on.
It's like that's like you going to your homeboy saying like, "Hey man, I'm having problems with this this one chick. She's like I'm feeling her, but man, I don't know if I got it. Oh man, don't worry about it, dude. Like hey, it's gonna be okay or whatever. All you just have to
screw her. It's all right. Just
screw
kick her.
her,
Kick her away.
Yeah,
And you're
kick
just
her
like,
away, something like that.
dude, I asked for actual advice, not just to kick her to the curb.
It's like, dude, like I get it, top G stuff. I understand, but come on, man. I'm trying to like get some advice. No, man, screw that chick, man. Screw her and everything. Like, bruh, like I'm really.
I also find it funny. Why is it a top G to kick them to the curb when you've not even gave them the chance to get to know them? It's like, how's that a top G move? Like, to me, that just sounds like a bitch move because like you're not doing anything. Like, it's like you're for like you know them for like 2 seconds, and because they don't like light up to the exact like specifics that you want, like it's a fucking builder girl, you're like, nah, fuck that bitch, nah, fuck that bitch. It's like, what?
If she doesn't reply back, in the next 5-6 minutes, man, screw her, dude. Move on. Like wait, no, maybe she just got busy. Nah. You screw.
It's like, guys, come on, chill out. And that's basically what was like Anakin's whole problem during this movie. He was like, I want to stop Padme from dying, and everybody's like, she won't die, it's fine. No, you're just being overthinking, Oh, live, love, laugh poster, all that shit. And he's sitting there like, how the fuck's that supposed to help me? Like, it doesn't. Like, what the hell? So then the one person that tries to entice him is obviously, well, ballsack face, basically.
And that's what happens, man. It's like, when people are trying to seek good advice or whatever, like the people that are supposed to give you the good advice, like tell you that everything's gonna be okay, and when you're not feeling that advice that's happening or whatever, then they're gonna go to somebody else, even a person that might even potentially try to hurt them or whatever, or use them for wrong things. This actually happens in real life, by the way, people. It's not just Star Wars or anything. It happens in real life. We all done this before, but I'm not better than anybody. Adam's not better than anybody. We all were trying to seek advice, and somebody wasn't listening to us, so we go find it somewhere else, and it ended us being in a bad situation or something like that. It happens.
Yeah, you'll always end up finding someone to justify it, even if you were in the wrong, and even if you were doing something bad. There's always one person that could be like, no, you done the right thing. So it's up to you to make that decision on your own, and that's where obviously Anakin failed. So obviously going forward, this is getting. Let's just go to it. Because other than like the Jedi might, can't say it.
Mustafar. Let's go to Mustafar.
Let's just go to Mustafar. It's time. Obviously Anakin's getting sent there to unalive the Separatists, and finally that Newt Gunroy guy is finally getting done in. Like, it took 3 movies. I don't know how he outlived Count Dooku. Really annoyed me, to be honest, because the dude legit can't do anything other than run away. So I don't know what took them so long to get him on alive, but Dooku was like the first 5 minutes. That's one of the things I've never really liked. But then we're getting to the biggest emotional scene of Star Wars history, the fall of Anakin Skywalker. And of course, to me for this scene, it's just so some of it is good, and then some of the things to me is a bit cringy. So like Padme comes down, and it's like, Anakin, I don't know what's going on. You're going down a path I can't follow. And then he's like, you brought him here with you. And it's like, what? And then obviously Obi-Wan like reveals himself. It reminds me of like that show that's in the UK with Paddy McGuinness. It's like, single man, reveal yourself, and then Obi-Wan's just standing there and it's like, hello, But obviously he's like, you took her away from me, and starts first choking her and stuff. And then obviously there's a lot of memes nowadays, you dirty bitches. I see them, right? And it's not good. God damn it, my guy. Like, I see you dirty buggers, and I swear to God, stop it. She actually unalives after this. I know, it's all like, oh, but it's fine. No, stop it, you thirsty little gits, and stop doing it. Get off the internet. If you're finding that attractive, get off the internet. Go touch some grass, please. Thank you. Anyway,
that's a little creepy. If you are into some masochist type of stuff, man, you probably want to seek therapy. Yes, therapy is really good.
after the public service announcements, you're welcome, by the way, guys. Anyway, that's obviously Obi-Wan's like, you done that yourself, you know, and then the battle of all battles, one of the best, I would argue it's the best lightsaber fight we've ever seen in live action, and even in the animated stuff, like nothing's even came close yet. Like,
yeah, man, it's like for me, it's between like Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul, and Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Like those are like the, of course, Yoda and Yoda versus Dooku or whatever. Those are the top three.
Yeah, well, Yoda versus Sidious is actually alright as well, but I don't like the fact that they relied on the Force so much. Like, they had Yoda looking like a fucking ping pong ball. Boing, 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 boing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I do love the epic speech that both of them have. Like, you know, like, the part where he says, "With it's gonna be my empire." Your empire? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, that part is always hilarious. Memes.
Your
always
empire?
The memes.
The empire belongs to the Senate. Nah. See, for me, like, for me, I like the action a lot more than some of the dialogue, because even like this is where like they get that I can see where people could say the dialogue got a bit cringy, because like Anakin became really weird, and like even for Anakin, it was like, right, that you're pushing it, like chill the fuck out, man, like.
Yeah.
But then, of course,
empire.
Obviously, there's fighting, and obviously they're prettily evenly matched when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like that's the thing about this battle. You can't really talk much about it. You just have to watch it because it's that badass.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
hey man, like Anakin was giving Obi-Wan the work for the first half, man. He like Obi-Wan was like, oh snap, like god damn, he's really good, man. He like, I have to go on offense now. This brother's bad, man.
Yeah. Of course, then we get to near the high ground, and this is another favorite popular meme in the fucking Star Wars universe. I get it. It was funny the first time. Now it's just over fucking done. Like, chill the fuck out, guys. Like, seriously, the amount of high ground jokes or memes I've seen still to this day, and I'm like, guys,
it's been since 2000.
Obi-Wan only used it once, and then it became an entire meme, and then the animated shows had to make him use it more than that, because yous made it a thing. We had the low ground in Phantom Menace, and no one fucking joked about that. But of course, he jumps to the high ground, and Anakin, it's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. You underestimate my power.
Underestimate my power.
You didn't, because now you're looking like a chicken nugget on the floor, but you know, is what it is. Moving on. Well, he does. You can't deny it, Dad. You can't deny it.
You sick little man. You sick little man. So now when I go to McDonald's, I'm gonna be ordering. Hey, can I get a 20-piece Darth Vader? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Please wait. Oh, sorry, chicken nuggets.
See, people, this is what I have to deal with. Like when we're doing with the show. Like,
I'm sorry, I have a dark sense of humor. Fucking deal with it. But you can't deny it, though. It's true. Like, legit, he's one arm off.
Well, I mean, I think him going to the bathroom is the worst part, because he can't do anything no more, man. Like all his stuff is like cut off. Like literally, it's all burned to the crisp
as well. So even if he wanted to, like even if it was still there, it wouldn't be functional.
It's not functional. Like there's no reason to live. Honestly, why be Darth Vader when you can't use this? You can't use your lifesaver no more. That's all I'm saying. Like,
and this is what I deal with. But anyway, so obviously after this, like the second deal of the Fates, that's basically the end of this movie, because like all it really is like Padme is having Luke and Leia. They get put on their planets, and then that sets up episode 4. So so we've got to the end of this. I would still give this movie like a solid like 9 out of 5. Like 9 out of 5. Fucking. I couldn't make up my mind. I could make my mind up on the scale there. It's like,
you already know, like, you know how our crew does it, man. Like, if they see this part, most likely it's gonna go probably like they're gonna cut that thing out and just have fun with it.
That's fine by me. That's fine, mate. Fine by me. At least eight out of 10 will eventually die if that's the case, man. Anyway,
9 out of 5, man. That's the new thing now. 9 out of 5.
9 out of 5. Yeah, fuck up. Anyway, 9 out of 5. Well, actually, I would say probably like a 9.5 out of 10 because I have a special place for them as well as the clones. So, like, I would like a solid 9.5 for me because it's like, it's just got a special place. This is the one that I did see in the cinema and I did feel the experience as we were going through last time. So get that experience. So I got to see this. So, you know, yeah, I would say that. What about yourself, Danny?
I think it's like if you're talking about a Star Wars movie, most likely just probably going to be a 9. If you're talking about just a normal movie, for me it's like an 8. 8.5 or whatever. So, you know, I enjoy it for what it is or whatever. You know, it's funny how people are on the prequel side now. Like us prequel fans have to be dealing with this for years. And now, you know what? Disney, because of Disney, this is what the prequels look like. They're are blockbusters now. So yeah.
I gave them the recognition that they deserve because luckily enough for me, I actually wanted people to like the prequel trilogy because I'm getting sick and tired of people bitching, and then obviously, like, then we came and unified together against the sequels, and then there's like that wee pocket of like 1% of sequel fans like, watch this, it's going to be amazing in 10 years. No, they're always going to be shit, and I'll stand by those words. I'm sorry if you don't like the truth, but the truth hurts sometimes. Anyway.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so it's time for the post-credit scene, and so this time, I think it's time we go back. A little bit back.
Oh, yes.
A little bit back crazy.
Oh, yes.
A little bit smoker's cough talk.
Are you telling me that you want to go back down to Gotham City? Like we just went there with Patterson, man, and like Clooney. You want to go back to Gotham City again, my guy?
To Gotham Night City, where the grass is green and the Joker isn't pretty. Oh,
baby, take me home.
So let's go back. Let's go back to Gotham and let's see Batcough. Yeah, let's go.
Oh man, yeah. With that, let's just say like we might make some of the Batman community mad with some of these movies. I'll just say that. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, let's just be like, we'll be honest. We do love these movies. We do love the villains of these movies, but you're gonna see. You have to tune in to see what we mean. But anyway, I have been Kanan Wilf. That has been MMA King Chris Jr., and we shall see you guys in the next one.
You guys take it easy, baby.